I will quickly take you through this aspect of why, what and hows of Auroville, now that you are already working in Auroville, but it so happens actually we started this program because many volunteers come and join a unit and they work there, and you get into the practical aspects. Very often in many units there is no opportunity to really read, learn about the real purpose and why Auroville was created. So the idea was, if we can create some activity every month, that's why we attempt this every third Saturday. So if you know any other volunteer, you're welcome to suggest them. Every third Saturday, 3 to 5 p.m. So the idea is you know about Auroville. I will not get into the dream charter. You're working here, so you know all those aspects. So I will directly get into why we are holding this session. The idea is to reinforce this idea. You're already working, but what is the purpose of even working? So this is what we are trying to highlight in this session, that can or is work a means of inner discovery working in Auroville. Most of you have worked outside also. So how does working in Auroville make it different? That's the attempt of this session. And keep it conversational. It's not like we are also volunteers in a way, that we are just being here a little bit before you. I'm in Auroville since 2015, and there are many other volunteers since the beginning of Auroville also. So we all are in a journey. So please keep this conversational wherever you want. If you have any doubt, please raise your hand. I'm happy to take a detour. So why work in Auroville at all? So this session is not just for volunteers. What we are attempting to do is, we claim that there are about 5,000 people who work in Auroville in various forms. Very few are volunteers. Many are contractors, consultants, workers, employees, staff. We name it in different way. But there are so many people who work in Auroville for various reasons. The attempt is also to reach out to those, irrespective of what form you come into Auroville to work for, but you understand the purpose of Auroville. And the idea is also not just to orient you about Auroville, as I said in the beginning, but to see if work can be a means of inner discovery. That's what we will be exploring today, even with our guest, Kalyananda. So many, I don't know how much you know about Auroville. There are many misconceptions also about Auroville. Is it a government? Is it a project? Because it's under Government of India also, is it a government project? Is it a community? Some also look at it as an eco-village. And depending on which route you came from, perhaps the identity of Auroville also transform to fit that outer view. But like the dream and this video showed many times, it is for actualizing human unity. And that's something which you need to explore, what it actually means, even what does human unity represent. So the charter in different ways speaks about human unity, conscious evolution, and a new way of life. And this again, by how do we even discover this new way of life? And again, Mother insisted work. There was so much emphasis on work, karma yoga, yoga of work, that through work you will discover yourself and also Auroville. And while you do so, whatever work you do, the dream and the ideals of Auroville comes first. Whatever you are doing in Auroville, first ask, why am I even doing? Why are we doing this? And how is it going to benefit the collective? So the reality of living in an experiment, we call this also as a living laboratory of conscious evolution. This means that constantly, and I'm sure if you have worked here or volunteered in Auroville, you might have come across some frictions, some contradictions, some conflicts, you name it the way you want. Some may call it fight, some may call it even war, right? Being in Auroville, you might have heard this kind of words. But what does it even mean? What is the conflict about? Is it about the ideal itself? Mother has listed that enough that there is no conflict on the ideal, why we are here. But perhaps the contradiction is on the pathway, on the journey. Should we take this route or that route? And that's where our ego lies, our conditioning lies, and it's a challenge to let go of all those experiences that we bring to this collective, and then keep that why as our center. So can ideals plus the contradictions and what we learn out of this contradiction be a basis for progress itself? What Auroville is and is not, there are many lists, many people, depending on whom you meet, they will give you a different picture of Auroville, as I said. But one thing is sure, I mean, this is what this session is about, that rather than asking what Auroville is, if you can little bit flip that question and see what does Auroville ask of me, each one of you, that why am I here? Why did Auroville even bring me here? What am I to contribute to the collective and what am I to progress here? So work in Auroville, even though as I said there are many aspects of working in Auroville, but always consider, irrespective of if it's a service or a income generating unit or I don't know what is the face of it, it can be very material in a way, it can be a cafe, it can be a restaurant, it can be a production unit, doesn't matter. Work is always a service and it is always a means of learning. Auroville in the charter, it speaks of constant progress, never ending learning, unending education, youth that never ages. All this kind of points to one thing, that learning is constant in Auroville. And the third one is that work as a responsibility. When we all are here, it is not only for our own individual progress, of course that is an inherent part of it, but Auroville also is a collective experiment. So our responsibility is not only for our own well-being, our own future, it is also a responsibility on us to ensure the collective, the Sangha of willing servitors are all kind of well taken care of and we can together progress. The progress can only be collective, being in Auroville. And how do we do it? So there are many units, we have about 750 units which are registered in small, big, from multi-crores to earning few thousands, and we call it income generating services. We are trying to also term it as service now. And then we have this classical service which do not, the main purpose of those entities are not to make money or generate income. The idea is to serve the collective. There are many like that. Aware is one of it, but there are also electricity service, to road service, to water service, to portus, to cycle paths. All the things that you see in Auroville, it is because somebody took the effort to look into it, work on it. And many a time it was all voluntary. Nobody told them to do it. It was a need. Somebody thought it should be done, and they did it. And as I said, Auroville is full of this duality. There are this, of course, individual aspects that you need to look at. For example, when you're in Auroville, looking at the housing, where do you work, how do you sustain yourself? But then there is also another counterpart of the collective. How do we ensure the collective takes care of the future housing? Right now, we are about 1,800 residents, perhaps most of them are housed. But if we have to go towards the ideal figure of 50,000 residents, then it is our responsibility to ensure we create new housing for more volunteers, newcomers to come. So all the aspects, so these are in a way 4 quarters, it always revolves around it, that we create enough prosperity, abundance in the collective, and that translates to collective services so that we don't have to worry about our individual needs like the dream speaks of. The more and more we go towards the collective services, the less will be the requirement or the insecurity or the worries about my family, our little circles that we all come with. And yeah, so I'm happy to have more questions if you have around this. So initiative, participation and responsibility, even though you might have committed to one service, but it does not limit. Most of the Aurovillians, if you speak to them who have been here long enough, you will realize that they don't just work in one place. Maybe they work some in Matrimandir in the morning, in the daytime they may work somewhere else, in the evening somewhere else, in the art and culture sphere in the evening, and some in working groups also. So you will find that there are so many overlaps when you are living in Auroville. It's not in a way very conventional like we normally consider work in general world. So can work happen without ownership? That's something which is unique about Auroville, because we have this 750, 800 units, but nothing is owned by anyone. It's all stewardship. It's a collective responsibility we take to run that particular service. It's very unique in a way. I don't see any parallel in anywhere in the world where people take up responsibility for the collective. There is nothing in them for it personally. And it happens because of that initial why we are here. And can you participate? Now, this is another aspect. We are a flat organization. In a way, we do not have hierarchies in Auroville. There could be natural hierarchy which comes up because somebody takes more responsibility, like Mother speaks of in the dream also. But there is no organized hierarchy in that sense. So how does one contribute? By doing work, by being an example, by walking in front, not by control, not by conventional means of power. And then the third, can you stay here present without the certainty of life which the conventional world offers? We don't have any certainty in that sense. We don't have financial, we don't know as a collective what will be the financial health of our future, of our collective. We don't know about many conflicts that we are hearing in Auroville. We don't know anything of it. But still, can we continue to offer, to serve the collective with that aspiration at heart? And can you also constantly, this part of this unending learning, can you allow the ideas, new ideas, to contradict yourself, to see the reality can be a little different from the idea that you have come to Auroville with? Most likely you might have seen some ideas of Auroville, or you have read about Auroville, or you have heard from people, and your experience sometimes can be the same as what the other person or what you have read, but at times it can be little different. But still, can you hold the reality with you, but still continue towards the ideal that we are here for? So some of the common misunderstandings which we try to deal with in this conversation, which we will also have later, is that, is work a utility? When we come to serve in Auroville, are we as good as what we can bring to the table? Are we just utilitarian? Are we just one cog in the large wheel? I believe not. So that's where the aspiration and where we are coming from matters. And ideals without context. So without understanding what Sri Aurobindo and Mother ask of us, ideals which can be sometimes great, but sometimes can be a fad, sometimes can be a recent media, created movement. So those can also be, those can have some truths in themselves also. But can we look at those ideals from the context of Sri Aurobindo and Mother? It is very important when you come here, you look at those things and also decondition yourself from those woke or whatever ideals that perhaps the world may find it very urgent and immediate for our human race to look into. And the other aspect is also, can we come and offer ourselves, and it's quite a challenge to remove yourself from the work or from the produce or from your outcome. How do we even do that? So these are the things which we, Auroville belongs to humanity as a whole. When we say that, then is any of our work, then can it be copyright stuff? Can it be my own thing? When we come here, then I believe we are here in entirety. So this project is copyleft in that sense. Next. So what kind of attitudes should we have when we come to work in Auroville? So from what do I get to what can I offer? With humility, with patience, with sincerity, with perseverance, So this is something which perhaps it would be great if we come to Auroville with these attitudes. Next. And can we look at all the frictions? Frictions, I mean, you need to learn to embrace it. It will be part of your life, social life. It will be part of being in this multicultural society. It is not avoidable that one thing that in one culture which may find as an ideal can be diametrically opposite in some other culture. So how do we be in a society which is this cultural kind of this melting pot? Right now we have about 60 cultures from around the world, and then to expect no contradiction or no conflict is, in my view, a little bit childish, naive. So if we have to then look at conflict, whatever is there, can we look at it from a point of view of what is this conflict teaching us or me? What is it acting as? What is the feedback it is giving to me? And what can we learn from it? And then each conflict, I mean, this is a cyclical thing in Auroville. It will keep on. It started off with 68, right from the beginning. If you read the initial books, there were constantly contradictions in Auroville, and it is still continuing now. And I don't think, and I hope it does not stop any time, because that's what fuels our progress. Next. So what next? Apart from work, what I encourage is that you also engage in art and culture of Auroville. Beauty as a base, Mother has reinforced on it so many times, and participate in some form in education, either learning or teaching whatever you know. And there are so many events which you are all aware of, perhaps thanks to many outlets like News and Notes. Participate in it. If you are volunteering, perhaps there are more options, because sometimes they also offer it lower cost. Things are slowly, we want to move towards service, that these things can be offered also as an offering, because we, even in the collective, we are worried the trend that we are taking, that it is becoming costlier and costlier for new people to come and adapt, live. But still, don't stay out of it as much as possible. Learn, be part of this workshop and events, and see different aspects of Auroville. And if you can also, there are many services in Auroville which invites you to participate, not give full time, but you can give certain hours, one time effort. For example, eco service, for example, water also, for example, road path service, road service. So see for opportunities where you can even participate for some time, just to see how it works. And of course, there is Matri Mandir. Always they have some or the other opportunity for you to engage. And never forget lifelong learning. Next. So whatever you are here for, there are many who just participate, come and work and volunteer in Auroville for few days to few months. And out of that, very few decide to take it to the next level of being a newcomer. Irrespective, when you are here, can you take the spirit of Auroville, the spirit of service, the spirit of relooking the purpose of work itself, and take it wherever you go. Take this ideal of Auroville with you forever. Yeah. So work as a means of inner discovery, through work, through time, through yourself. And towards this, before we go into the next session, we have a small few questions for you to ponder before we invite Kalyananda. It would be nice for you to also take some moment, few minutes, to see what it means to work in Auroville for yourself. This is for your own sake. You don't have to give to us. You just write, fill it up, and you keep it with yourself.